So the long-awaited Daredevil Born Again trailer has come out, and it has a ton of things, more things, obvious, more things like, okay, but some things that I think are really interesting, and I kind of want to dive into it and talk about it. If you didn't know, this show was in kind of production hell for a while, to a point where the show wasn't even releasable, according to Kevin Feige, and they did a complete overhaul with everything. And I think, just judging by the trailer, it was the right move, because it seems like it is really good. It seems like it's definitely a continuation of the Netflix show, which everybody seemed to have loved. So it started yesterday on the 14th, January 14th, where we saw the Daredevil Instagram account post that the trailer today, well, something was going to come out at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And they were not lying. So there's a few things I caught. Just stay with me here. Right off the bat, it almost seems like Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk are some type of ally here, some type of truce going on here, because as we know, they are enemies, but they're having, I don't know, breakfast or lunch at a diner, talking about it, and even Wilson Fisk says it's not incredibly bad or something like that, to see you, but there is obviously that little, there's this little game they're playing here. He asks him, why are you not a vigilante anymore? And Daredevil asks him, I think, you're playing the system or something like that. The trailer seems to be talking about Matt leaving the persona behind, but how he'll come back to it, because it is the Daredevil show. So, bringing into the next thing, we will see Mayor Fisk, which was teased a lot, teased in Echo. I think the end of Echo, we saw that after credit scene where he was looking at the TV that talked about, the mayor vacancy. And I believe what he'll kind of be running on will be the elimination of vigilantes, which I think kind of goes back to where he asks why Matt isn't a vigilante anymore. I think there'll be something where he kind of trying to set him up a little bit, kind of playing both sides. But there will be a lot of characters that are introduced and reintroduced in the show. Starting with the fan favorite Punisher, played by Jon Bernthal, kind of supporting his long hair and beard, and there's a quick interaction between him and Daredevil, which I think we'll see more later on. Then going over to Muse, who is in a lot of the trailer, and I think will kind of be the main thing going for this season. And what we know of this character, they are a serial killer who loves art, mainly graffiti, and we'll see a lot of different things going on. There's also, a lot of teases between Daredevil and Muse fighting in the trailer. But I think what he is after is Wilson Fisk, Kingpin. But I also feel like I've heard before that he takes inspiration from Daredevil, so this should be an interesting dynamic. But I think a way to bring Fisk and Murdock together, kind of with a enemy of my enemy is my friend type of thing. We also see White Tiger, Hector, who is one of the people fighting in the subway, because people were able to kind of see this happening in the leaked D23 trailer, because I believe there was a different trailer shown when D23 was going on that was kind of similar to this trailer and has the same elements. So that's that. But he wears this powerful amulet that I think, will be a major role in there. I don't know what they're really going to be doing with White Tiger. However, unfortunately, the actor who did play this character passed in I think December of 2023 after unfortunately battling cancer. But then we go over to Bullseye from the Daredevil Netflix show, a main kind of antagonist, where we have a video on him. Check it, so if you want to check that out. But we see him in prison. We've seen him in set leaks. He rocks this crazy outfit with knives and everything. But, you can kind of tell based off of his name, Bullseye, he is quite good at hitting his targets. I don't think he'll be a major part of the show. He'll be a big part of the show, but I think he'll kind of be a looming threat. And there's something else I want to talk about that I won't actually get in this video. I will be getting in my video after this, so check it out. There will also be a new love interest where we kind of see just a quick little sexy time between Matt and this new character, Heather Glenn, who, does actually have this kind of, quite dark story in comics where I believe she suffers from alcoholism and eventually kind of takes her own life. So this should be a little dark, a little more dark than, I think we were kind of thinking. We also get a quick look at the son of Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, his son Michael Gandolfini, who is rumored to play the character Rose, or Wilson Fisk's long-lost son, Richard Fisk. We only see him very quickly in the trailer, so I don't know what they'll actually do with this character, if they'll just be a tease or kind of, what they'll do, but worth noting. There are two characters I am leaving out, but I'm going to save it for a little bit later in this breakdown about the trailer. Yes, they are very big characters, and you probably know who I'm talking about, but we'll get to them. We see mentions of the Netflix show, specifically things that people, I think, will, I don't know if they'll be excited or be annoyed with, but it has to do with Luke Cage, where we see an ad for Harlem's Paradise, which was big in the Luke Cage show. And, there's a lot of going on, like, will there even be a Luke Cage in the MCU? Will they bring over those Defenders characters like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, the Iron Fist? So that's something to think about. There's a scene where we see different masks from Daredevil. From left to right, we got the silver with red eyes, maroon with red eyes, yellow with red eyes, black with red eyes, and seems to be like another maroon red with red eyes. Then, this is pretty much teasing the different suits that we may see in this season or perhaps the entire show, because I do believe there's a season 2 coming out. Because, again, he doesn't really have many in the original show. I believe since joining the MCU, he's had about 2 suits. From the She-Hulk show, he had the yellow with red eyes, and then in the Echo show, when he had that brief cameo fighting her, he had the maroon with red eyes. So, maybe we'll see that black one. Maybe we'll see the old school. It would be interesting. Another cool shot that picks up from season 3, the finale, where Wilson Fisk and Vanessa Fisk seem to be enjoying a meal. Looks like dinner because they're kind of eating in the dark, but they are sitting in front of the white portrait with blood on it that came from, season 3. So definitely a good thing for people who were a fan of the Netflix show, because it seems like they're definitely hinting at little things that this is a continuation of the Netflix show. Will they flat out say it? I have no idea, but it is cool to see little Easter eggs that kind of show that, that happened already, and we're not going to ignore that. Now, these things I believe will kind of lead into each other. Starting off with the rating, it is a dark show. It is a mature show. There is tons of violence, including blood, broken bones, and death. And when I say broken bones, I really, there's a couple little flashes, where one in specific where he freaking jumps on the guy's leg, kind of breaking it in half. Absolutely disgusting. Hurt to watch, but I think we'll see a lot of crazy stuff like that in the show, just showing the brutality of this universe, of this show, of these characters. Then we see teases, and we've also heard these teases of a lot of action with Daredevil, Punisher, Bullseye, different soldiers, and so on fighting. So you'll see a lot of that in the show, especially with the Muse fight. There's gonna be a lot of that. But over to the characters, I have not mentioned Foggy Nelson and Karen Page, both huge parts of the Netflix Daredevil show, but suspiciously we're not in it for that much of the trailer, which has a lot of people theorizing certain things that I want to get to in another video. Finally, there is a shot where the mask is falling from a height, covering what I believe to be a scene that I think will really set the tone of the show. But again, let's save it for the next video, because it is kind of spoilery. It is kind of like leakishly, but it is something that people should be talking about. But a lot of good characters coming back, a lot of story that seems to be taking place that won't really be contained in just one season, which is okay. I remember for a while the show was supposed to be like 16 episodes, but I think it's down to like 8 episodes now, which is fine to me. I don't really care about the quantity. As long as the quality is good, I'm okay with that. You let me know what you're most excited for the Daredevil show, what you thought was the best part of the trailer so far, what you're most excited to see. I mean, give me a top 5 list, because there is so much that people are excited to see that it's hard to even nail it down to just one thing. But I am so excited for the show. Honestly, will probably be the best Disney Plus show, better than Loki, better than Hawkeye, better than X-Men 97. Whatever you think is the best show, I think is going to be better. I am incredibly excited. Thanks for watching today's video.